So, welcome to another episode of Bearfoot Miniatures with Phil.
Hi.
Does a rundown. And today we're going to be doing, while I turn off my phone, fucking people trying to call me. We're going to be doing the Mechanicum rundown of... So this we decided to do it in a weird way, didn't we?
So there's a lot of units in here, isn't there?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff to get through because it just doesn't behave like any other type of list.
Yeah.
I really think that it's quite unique in the way it plays. I mean, even Solar resemble like legionaries a little bit, whereas Mechanicum I've got so many layers upon layers, like an onion.
Yeah. So what we could have done is stretched it out and done like elites, troops, fast attack, heavy lords. But instead we're going to do human-brained and ape-brained. And tanks are going to be an ape-brained.
Yeah.
Because you've got to have an ape brain rather than human brain to take tanks, I think.
Exactly. Especially
in Heresy 2.
Heresy 2.
In Heresy 2. So, with that, we're going to do today... And everyone, you tell us in the comments if we've got Scyllax in the wrong place. We're going to be doing techpriest, auxilia, Myrmadons...
Secutors.
Why could I not read that? I've got an army of them. Like adsecularis, thallax, Scyllax in this one, Ursurax because they're thallax-brained, which is human-brained, pained, tortured, human-brained. Then we're going to be doing Myrmidon destructors and armigers, basically, because they've got human brains in the form of the pilot.
They've got a human pilot.
Is it a pilot?
I assume so.
Yeah, it must be a pilot. Yeah. So with that, we're going to do that. And then we'll probably do knights some other time other than the armigers. Mm-hmm. Okay. So if you missed the first part of this, we've done a HQ version, which is like the Archmagos and Magos Dominus and all of their things in their own video, because that took about an hour and a half or something.
Yeah. With all the options and everything like that, it took ages, didn't it?
Yeah.
It took ages.
All quality time with you, Phil.
Oh, thank you.
So we're going to do Tech Priest Auxilia first. They're 65 points in the elite slot. Off you go, Phil.
They are absolutely amazing.
Right.
Absolutely amazing.
Should we tell
I'm hoping you will tell them why they're amazing and read out the profile a little bit.
So we've got Tech Priests, which is like obviously your base choice. You get one Tech Priest and 4 servo automata in the squad. The Tech Priest is a character with line. You can get an upgraded Magos Auxilia, which is a character cyberthurgist with line. Yep. And the servo automata are just automata guardians.
Yep.
Which means they become line if they are in the same unit as a character.
You can't...
It's a new type.
The guardian is that you can't target the...
Is that what guardian does?
I think guardian is you can't target... You're going to spend ages now.
I know, where is it in the book?
It's right near the end.
I'm going to have to speed this up with like... But then that will be sped up, so it doesn't really make sense. Units, including models with the Guardian unit subtype, may embark freely upon models with the Transport subtype and within buildings, even if not normally possible. Thanks, Guardian.
What does that even mean?
Guardian.
So you can get into a transport even if it wasn't...
If you've got, like Cybernetica type, which can't get in. If you've got Cybernetica and Guardian.
You can get in it. Okay, fair
enough.
But
thanks, Guardian. Units, including Guardian... may be joined by friendly models with the character, even if they would normally be restricted from doing so. One or more models, any wounds which should be allocated to the character may instead be allocated to the Guardian subtype. So it protects the Magos, as you say. And if not joined by a character, so if the Magos gets the Tech Priest gets assassinated, reduce movement by 2 and initiative to 1. What losers? Oh, so they've got Guardians. The profiles, I'd say, are fairly good.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest. Movement 6 is like standard for a human. You've got 3s across the board like a standard human for the Tech Priest.
Yep. With
a 4-up save. Magos Auxilia has BS 4, Toughness 4, 2 wounds, 2 attacks, Leadership 8, 3-up save.
So good.
Good, yeah. And because they're Cyberthurgist and line as well.
Yep.
And line is one thing, it's really hard to get in. I say hard. It's harder to get in the Mechanicum list.
I think it is because like most of the units are really expensive. It's hard to have multiple amounts of line, and being able to put this in your elite slot and the versatility that will go over, I think it's really good.
Yeah, especially with the things that are in the troop slot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I find your troops get quite full
Quite
in
quick.
Mechanicum, yeah. So, Servo Automata, movement 6 goes down to 4 if the Magos is assassinated, obviously, because he's Guardian. Weapon skill BS3, strength 4, toughness 5. So the majority toughness of the unit is 5.
Yeah.
1 wound, initiative 1, 1 attack, leadership 6, 5 up save. So their initiative will be unaffected by Guardian.
Yeah. It's just if you get rid of all the characters, there'll be movement 4. But at that point, it's already done its job.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got las pistols on the Magos and Tech Priest, power axe on the Magos and Tech Priest, close combat weapons on the Servo Automata. You've got Battlesmith 5 on the Magos Auxilia, 6 on the Tech Priest, Cyberthurgist on the Magos, Stubborn on the Magos and Tech Priest, Techno Arcana on the Magos and Tech Priest. Yeah, that's what you've got.
So Stubborn's really good because you're just ignoring all that night fighting minuses straight away.
Yeah.
They can, they're not affected by fear. So I think that's really fluffy. It's a really strong rule, but I think it's really fluffy as like you are leading around these brain dead or automata around with you. So I really like that as a rule for them. And the fact that you've got multiple units with it on as well, within that unit, that sounds weird. Multiple characters in that unit, I think that is really good as well. So I know you can't snipe people out, but if you do lose one, you've still got more amounts of it knocking around. Yeah,
so basically the squad caps out at 3 Tech Priests, one of which can be a Magos Auxilia, and up to 10 Servo Automata.
Yeah.
Right. Those Servo Automata are starting with close combat weapons, but they can take Laslocks, Flamers, Maxima Bolters, which are the 3-shot range
12 inch,
Yeah, I remember it all.
Yeah.
Servo arms for 5 points, which is actually fairly tasty. Because for 5 points, you wounded Marines on a 2, doubling them out.
Yeah.
And the guy overall is only 10 points.
Really good.
Really good. Rotor Cannon, 10 points. Swerve, I would say, on this unit.
I'm not really that bothered about
Not here. Heavy Bolters, 15 points, Swerve. Multi-Melter.
Do you know what? You say that. For 20 points a model, with the price of the model 5 points and 15 points for the Heavy Bolter, I quite like that option.
Yes, and I know it's in the elite slot. What I'm actually going to do is pull out, just while we're talking about this, Quartermaster and check out how much a heavy support squad dude on his own for Marines is worth. And I should know this off the top of my head, really, but
every Iron Warrior player is really upset with you right now. You know that, don't you?
They're not. They love me, really. So you're averaging 20 points for model, and it's an extra 15 for an extra heavy sport marine. So heavy sport marines have got a better save of 3 up compared to 5 up. You've got 1 less toughness, yeah, but you've got a better ballistic skill. So I just don't think it's worth that trade-off. If you had Relentless on the Servo Automata from the
fair enough.
The bulk mega dudes.
Why are they a weird Arnold Schwarzenegger sort of subtype?
Because it's
I didn't realise that was
Terminator dude.
I didn't realise that was a subtype on there.
Yeah, it is. It's
fair enough. When you're comparing it to a Marine,
these are the T700s.
The T700s. Right?
Yeah.
When you're comparing it to a Marine, it doesn't look that worthwhile.
But then again, what is?
What is? Yeah. I still quite like the taking the heavy bolter. I've built mine with heavy bolters. They'll probably just get servo arms because that's also a really cool choice.
Cheap and it's quite good. Now, would you give depending on your loadout, your Tech Priest or Magos can have any of the following: Augury Scanner, Nuncio Vox, Volkite Charger, Cortex Controller, Grav Gun, Cyber Familiar, Melter Bombs. So would you upgrade? So like Augury Scanner, if you've got the ranged weapons, definitely right. Nuncio Vox, depending on if you've got a Kraknos tank or a Thanatar.
Yeah, but I'm not really that bothered about because their ballistic skills 4, so I'm not really missing. The pie plate is so big, so the Kraknos is 7 inches.
I scatter off enough that I need that all the time.
I'm not really that bothered about the Nuncio
Vox. My double 6 scatter is ever present.
Legendary. Fair enough.
He's becoming, I think. So yeah, So it really comes down to like the Cyberthurgist auxilia.
So one thing there is the Cortex controller.
Right, so I've missed that out, but I know exactly what you're going to say. Go on.
So because they're
Do
automata, if you don't have the Cortex controller, they're just going to go in. You've not really, because they start charging things and moving towards things without actually.
They're not automata. They are automata, aren't they?
Automata Guardian.
Is that?
So they're automata with a Guardian subtype. It doesn't replace it completely.
Right. So what I thought you were going to say is in a Cyberneticalist, it gets you those multiple Cortex controllers.
That protects your army. And
don't they reduce cover?
Yeah, by 2. So that's going to be a good thing as well. So in a Cybernetica army, if you have multiples of these, if you're in range of 2 Cortex controllers, it starts reducing the cover by 2, which basically means no one gets any cover ever.
Yeah.
But they're automata with a Guardian in brackets, so they're automata still, so you still want that, or they start acting by themselves.
Well, I think you're going to have it for that 2 Cortex controller range.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think it's a massive plus. I really think this unit is best being. Let's go over the cybernetic, the Cyberthurgist.
Okay.
Because the first one is what I'm going to say basically. Engine say improve your battlesmith roll to a 4+. I think that's pretty good with them. I think sitting while the unit contains any number of servo automata, tech priest or Magos auxilia, improve battlesmith to 4. And the Magos and priests are armed with a servo arm.
Yeah, but you can give all your other servo automata with servo arm as well.
Yeah, so what I actually think that ends up doing means you can sit it near a Thanatar, say, because I know that was one of your preferred things, is sit stuff near Thanatars. On a 4-up, you've got 3 times you can do it with this unit. On 4-ups, you're recovering wounds.
Yep.
And you're going to be double Cortex controller range.
Yep.
For ignoring cover.
So I think that's just like, for me, that's like probably one of the best ones to take as a Techno Arcana. I think so you've got your backfield heavies, you can heal them and get their wounds back. And you've got 4. You've got 3 times of doing it. But with the Cyberthurgist Auxilia as well, which is the Magos Auxilia, if you're taking Artificer Machina with that, he can replace 2 wounds on a 4-up. So he rolls a leadership test, then is able to replace 2 wounds on a 4-up. So if you actually have like 3 of them in coherency, they can span over a couple of Thanatars.
Right, okay.
So you could do, the left one's going to go and do that, this one's going to heal 2 wounds to that one's going to do it to that one. So not just mass onto one. Yes, it's a 4-up, so it's only happening 50% of the time, but you've got that ability to fix them constantly throughout the game.
Yeah.
And scoring in that objective that might be in your backfield.
Yeah. Well, it just allows you that no-pressure unit that I think is really important. That's also going to be doing like backfield stuff as well.
Yeah.
Like Ramata, you tech priest, Magos, and servo automata have this feel no pain 5+, and adsecularis with at least 1 model within 6 gain +1 to their feel no pain damage mitt rolls, or they gain the feel no pain 6+ if they didn't have it already. Now, I don't think adsecularis are great this edition.
No.
So they used to have the fearless rule, which made them actually have a place.
Yep.
But now they do not.
No, and I think the toughness will mean that most of the times you're ignoring that feel no pain. So although it's good on this unit to have a 5-up feel no pain because your majority toughness 5, that's great. On the adsecularis, they're not really that great, and I can't really see a great use of that.
It's not worth spending this unit to be nearby another thing.
Yeah.
So the trouble is, I think, these have line, so they're already providing you line. If they were around a point on the field, your adsecularis don't need to be there.
Exactly. So what's
if
the point?
It was an army-wide buff for having this unit, I'd get it, but it isn't, so I don't.
Also, we always say this, you don't take one unit to make another unit better.
But I think Heresy 2 that you do. I think it's...
Do you take another unit to make a unit viable? Like
Not viable, but I don't think this does make it viable.
No, right, okay. So there we go. At the end of that conversation, that's that done.
Yeah. So, Reductor, finally, you can... Basically, your techpriest Magos are equipped with a servo arm. All models gain Sunder and Wrecker. Magos Auxilia may exchange their servo arm for a conversion beamer or Graviton imploder for 25 points each. So, basically, to get the benefits of this, Sunder and Wrecker are really good.
Yeah.
Right? Or Sunder is, at least. It will apply to your multi-melters, but how many people are coming within your 12-inch range
Not
for
many.
you to not be better with just, like, a las cannon squad elsewhere, or Haywire, or like a Thanatar with a las cannon, like somewhere else. I think it overlaps with those other roles too much. Then looking at the conversion beamer roll, so you've got to pay at minimum you've got to pay 65 points, plus the 25 points to upgrade to a Magos Auxilia to take Reductor, yeah, and then you've got to pay another 25 to get the conversion beamer. So it's 115 points.
It's not worth
for a single conversion beamer.
I think it's just too pricey for me. The points really need. I don't know what it is with multi melters, conversion beams, and things like that. But Games Workshop really have a high price value on them. Like multi melters are always like 20, 25 points, and sometimes you've got to look at the unit. Also, like your ballistic skill 3.
Yeah.
You're not hitting anything with that.
Yeah, well, I think multi-melters are excellent on things which have relentless, like headhunter kill teams.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're great here, where you're just static. They suffer from the same as last edition. And when you can't... With only 24-inch range, yes, they can just sit there and plug away at something. But it's a very expensive unit to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's worth it to do that.
Again, if the automata had relentless, I think this would be absolutely perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Seems like there is an obvious change that could be made, but it shall be talked about later. As we go on to Arcuita Magisterum. This is 85 points for the basically assassins of the Mechanicum crew.
Loyalist assassin.
Yeah, loyalist
only assassin.
Unlike the Arcuita Magisterum Archmagos choice, which isn't loyalist locked.
Yeah.
So that is a way to get a traitor assassin in there, because traitors are more interesting. So we've got movement 7, weapon skill 5, BS 5, strength toughness 5, 2 wounds, initiative 4, 2 attacks, leadership 10, 3 up save.
That leadership on that just seems ridiculous. I don't know why.
Why isn't your Mechanicum robot assassin super motivated?
I don't know. I just think that is really high for that unit. I don't know why, and I have no rationale for this. By the way, it's just my opinion.
Just feels too high.
Just feels too high.
So she comes equipped with a. Does it specify gender? They come equipped with Corpescent Stave, Archaeotech Pistol, Mechanicum Protectiva, which is a 4-up.
Yeah.
Cortex Controller, Frag Crack. They're an infantry character.
No, it's not the 4-up. It's the.
Is that a 5-up?
It's the 5-up, I think.
Let's look at the Magos one. Mechanicum Protectiva. It's a 4-up.
It's the 4-up.
Boom! I am now the Mechanicum expert.
Wow, that's a sad day.
So they've got unit attack characters, so they can't join another unit. Battlesmith 5, Feel No Pain 5, Firing Protocols 2, Hunter Killer, Independent Character, Loyalist, Monster Hunter, Precision Strikes 5. Yes. They can add one of the following range weapons: Photon Thruster, Phase Plasma Fusel. May exchange the Corpescent Stave for a Paragon Blade, which I think they should definitely do.
All the time.
And may take a Servo Arm or Machinator Array, in which I should think you'd probably take... Do you know what? Machinator Arrays don't strike last, do they?
No.
So I wouldn't take a Paragon Blade.
Also, the way...
I'd take a Machinator Array.
Oh. Silly summer
and change all of my attacks.
Silly summer child. No.
Why?
Machinator Array gives you +2 attacks. It doesn't say it gives you +2 attacks with that weapon choice. It just says it gives you +2 attacks.
Yeah.
So I'll take both.
Oh, so you can take both of them. Oh!
So you could go like, oh, I'm going to use my Paragon Blade when you might need to, or you're going to take your Machinator Array.
No, you're thinking too small. So you can just stay with the Corpescent Stave, and you just take your Machinator Array and put all the attacks through the Machinator Array because of the FAQ. So you don't need the Paragon Blade for the AP2.
So you'd get 2 attack. You get 3 attacks because the Corpescent Stave. Corpescent
I know,
Stave.
right.
And Architect Pistols. You got 3 attacks there, plus 2 for your Machinator Arrays. You got 5 attacks. I think it's Strength 5 with Shred at AP2.
Yeah. Yeah. Properly.
I would if I had the points, I would take the Paragon Blade and the Machinator Array. I don't know why, but I would.
Well, yeah, it doesn't help, does it?
You actually lose an attack,
Yeah.
but I would take both. I don't know why. I always thought, I'll take both.
Because you're a fluffy player, Phil.
Yeah.
But we're not concerned about the fluff right now.
No.
So Hunter Killer allows you to take an Artalax or a Vorax as part of the assassin unit. I think an Artalax is a bit wasted because you're wasting its jump pack.
Yeah,
essentially.
You can't keep up with it, which is really weird. I've expected to get like I can't really the thallax jump pack. I can't say the name. Incubarium.
I'm
Jump
just gonna
pack.
go for
Incubarium. There we go. If I had that, I'd be like the Artalax is like the prime choice there.
Yeah.
Prime choice. The Vorax.
I think you take it for ablative wounds. I don't think Vorax are great this edition.
It's a Vorax automaton maniple, isn't it?
You carry on talking and I'll read.
So I think from that there you can take more than that. So it will give a bit more punch to your Vorax, which at the moment are not.
Yeah, it's just a maniple.
It's a maniple. So 6 Vorax with this. It's keeping up with them because I think Vorax and movement they're either 7 or 8.
They are movement 8.
Right. So this
So
is
you're
like
falling behind a little bit.
a little bit. It's 1 inch isn't that bad, but.
Yeah.
But I think like this could add the punch that I always seem to lack with my Vorax. When they charge, they usually get.
It could do, but
beasted.
you play traitor, so it can't.
Oh, sorry, yeah. So this is pointless unit.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I think definitely take a Machinator Array. If you fail, take a Paragon Blade. Photon Thruster or Phased Plasma Fusel.
I'd never take the Photon Thruster.
Why not?
Because if you miss, you wound yourself. So if you gets hot, that's it. You've lost the.
But Phased Plasma Fusels also have that.
Yeah, no. So I wouldn't take it either. That was.
Oh, you see, I'd take a Phased Plasma Fusel for 10 points. I'm much more a gambler than you are, though.
I would never do that. 3.
Oh, mate, double Plasma Myrmadons. Yes. Anyway, that's spoiling the next bit. But yeah.
I would upgrade any of its shooting weapons. I'd use it as a close combat beast to really put pressure on. With it being strength 6 with a Paragon Blade, which is one of the reasons I'll take a Paragon Blade, or strength 5 all the time with Shred with your Machinator Array, I think you're going to be really
he's
really
going to be doing
nice
work.
attacks. It's going to wound something.
And he's one thing that I think though is even without using the Hunt Killer to get a Vorax maniple to just hide in, it's quite easy to the amount of times that single models can actually be hidden quite easily.
Yeah.
Is quite high. Like I'd have a look at running them if you are a Mechanicum loyalist player. Just running them on their own, because if you think about it a little bit, you might be able to just hide them like every turn from whatever's going to be wanting to shoot at them.
Yeah.
And then gank someone at the end. So yeah, that's how I think if you cool you run it for Vorax. Myrmidon Secateurs.
I think, right, I'm laughing already because this is where we're going to completely disagree. And it's not about the unit at all, because the unit is absolutely awesome.
Oh, no, I don't think that.
You're a liar.
You were a scourge. Yes, I am a liar, and they're brilliant, aren't they?
They're amazing.
They're brilliant for winning. Whether they're brilliant for the game is a different matter. But yeah, 150 points. You get movement 6, weapon skill 4. You have hatred, so don't discount them at weapon skill 4. BS 5, strength toughness 5, 4 wounds,
which is immense.
2 attacks, 3 attacks each, leadership 8, 3 up
You
save.
said 2 attacks and then 3 attacks each. I mean,
Oh,
2 initiative 2.
3 attacks, yeah. The Lord has 4 attacks, leadership 9. They're all stubborn. They're all relentless. Firing protocols 2, bulky 3. Right? You get 3 in the unit for that 150 points.
Yeah.
And they are worth it. They're all heavy. The Secutor Lord has character, obviously, because he's a character. They get Myrmidon axes, 2 maximum bolters each, refractor field frag grenades.
It's just an insane amount of kit. It's just an insane amount of kit. That Myrmidon axe is amazing. AP2 plus 2 to your strength unwieldy. Boom, I already know what it is, don't look it up. I mean, that is just unbelievable, by the way. I don't care. They're initiative 2, so they're always going to be striking last pretty much all the time. But that Myrmidon axe is just mental.
Yeah, and combined with hatred everything, even if you're going into a weapon skill 5 unit, like a 3rd hit straight away, right, just the base 3, right, you get, 10 attacks, 6, 3.5 hit.
Yeah.
Then of that, another 1.5 hit.
Yeah.
So you get in basically hitting on 4s.
Exactly, from
Like
the first round
same.
of combat.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, really good. And then he's 45 points for an extra model. So if you want to make that killer combat unit, this is where it is. Like, if you've seen Chris's Iron Hands army on the Iron Hands games on the channel, like literally all of them, Chris is going to be running a unit, we think, rumoured, of Maxima Bolters into on his Secutor.
He
just
doesn't see if the worth in spending the points on the shooting weapons. And also, with Maxima Bolters, it's just at weight of fire. You've got 6 shots from each one. It's 12 inches. I know that, but it does do some damage when people are charging you if you're taking them in large numbers, which you should be taking them in
You're
large numbers.
not going to convince me here.
Okay.
This is where we start disagreeing, and it happened earlier than I thought.
Whoa. I didn't say that's what I would take. I just said that I can see the worth for them.
Right, okay.
The next part is where we disagree.
So any model in the unit may exchange either or both their Maxima Bolters for one of the following. Volkite Chargers for free, Graviton Guns 5 points each, Irad Cleansers 10 points each, Phase Plasma Fusels 10 points each. When it says one of the following, that means you can't mix them in the unit. Fusel
Either or both.
Either or both for one of the following.
Oh, fuck. That's badly worded, that. You can't take double phase plasma fusels based on that. You could take a graviton gun and then a phase plasma fusel.
No, you couldn't. Because that's not one of the following. One of the following is graviton gun.
I don't. Right, I understand how that reads, but that is not really the intention.
For one of the following each would be.
Yeah.
Right, we'll say this on the, right, so in reading this next paragraph, so what has been the understanding is that you can exchange for your choice of the combination of Volkite Charger, Grav, Irad, and Phase Plasma Fusel. Now, of them, you're going to go Grav Gun or Phase Plasma Fusel in some combination.
You're either hunting infantry, elite infantry, or you're hunting dreadnoughts.
Yeah. Now, the Grav Guns are really good, 5 points each. I tend to think sprinkle them into units and have one unit of 3 with 6 of them. Because then you're nuking the targets that you want, but you're also terrifying dreadnoughts and anything that chooses to fire at you. You don't need to, I don't think you need, a unit of 6 Myrmidons with 6 Grav and 6 Phase Plasma. I actually think it's more worthwhile to have more Phase Plasma in that balance.
So,
because that's what we're talking about. We're gonna be.
So this is where I've run Myrmidons with dual Grav, dual Plasma, and a mix. Now, I've taken I usually take units of 5 or 6. That seems to be the sweet spot for me.
20 wounds.
Yeah, that seems to be where I'm happiest with it. Taking 6 Myrmidons with dual Grav, I think it's overkill.
Yeah.
I think it's way too much Grav. You find out that you just obliterate those dreadnoughts and tanks, and then they're pretty useless against everything else. taking 6 plasma fusels, 6 units with dual plasma fusel, I like that unit, but I'm too terrified of them killing themselves.
You see, they're all expendable
and
to me.
that is because with the phase plasma fusel, it's AP3 base
3.
and not AP4. If it was AP4 like a plasma gun, I'd be like, take them all day.
And he's kicking out. So he's kicking out 3 shots. It's like strength 6 or 7. I can't.
It's 6.
Actually, 6. But it's AP3 all the time with a rending 4.
Yeah. Gets hot as well.
It's terrifyingly good. Now, whereas you come down on like, oh, I don't want my unit to kill itself. What I've sort of started to come down on is you take that unit and I just don't expect it to survive. Mm-hmm. And either your opponent shoots at them and they get to shoot back and wipe people off the table because they can react.
So yeah, that's a really good thing.
And yes, I'll chip 1 or 2 wounds off myself a turn, but who cares? They're going to nuke a unit every single time.
So this would be another way, because I run them with a Archmagos in there to take rad grenades. So this is why I'm really cautious about them killing themselves, because it'll leave my Archmagos by himself.
Fuck him off to a different unit.
No, the reason I put him in there is because he's instant death in almost everything.
Right.
Because they become strength 7, toughness 3 when they charge, instant death in everything.
Yeah.
So that's why I take it in there. I was one person in the camp of taking half grav, half plasma, and I was like championing that. Oh, you're slowing down a unit while you're killing them. But I think I'd rather just take 2 smaller units with grav and the bigger unit with plasma fusel.
Oh really? Are you coming down on that? I win! I win!
I still, every time I look at taking that much plasma fusel in it, I'm just like...
What side do you know what Bill's been running?
Grav and plasma, I believe.
He's running a mix.
I think he's running a mix.
Right.
So
that's Bill the Destroyer.
So it's a Swiss Army unit then, so it can go after everything. But I think I'd rather just have 3 dudes going after a tank or a dreadnought. Because if the dreadnought charges, by the way, yeah, fair enough. It's gonna brutal 3 and on all that. But there's still gonna be one of them that's gonna pump out a wound to it. It's not gonna wound with every single attack. It's not gonna hit with every single attack.
Well, I even think just like a light dusting of grav guns in the squad. Say you've got 6 members in the squad. Let's just like pluck that out of my mind as if it was like almost like that's what I'm gonna run. Like 1 or 2 with grav guns in, you like Overwatch a dreadnought. Take 3 wounds.
See you later.
Yeah. Well, take like 3 wounds off it.
Yeah.
And then the dreadnought runs in, and like, what is it, strength 9? So it's not even doubling them out.
Yeah.
So it kills Ard Myrmadon.
Yeah.
And then they all go,
bump, off you pop.
And definitely end it.
Yeah.
Like, whereas, it might not get in and kill that one Myrmidon, but when I am walking across the board and I want to kill some Marines...
You've got that ability to do that.
Yeah, it's whereas when you've only got 6 phase plasma fusels, you fire at a unit, and that's what 18 shots, like 15 hits, only half of them rend, so it's 7.
It's not 18 shots.
It is. It's 3 shots each.
Yeah, but there's 2 though.
No, I'm saying when you've only got 1 per.
Oh, sorry.
So it's like seven rends.
36.
Yeah, 7 rends.
Yeah.
Take away the feel no pains. You're not actually killing. You're killing like half a unit.
Yeah.
Once they've bounced on a few 2-ups on the AP3s.
Yeah.
You're killing like half a unit, whereas you rock up with that unit's gone.
Yeah.
Like it's every time you fire that Myrmidon.
I am leaning more towards the side of just taking.
Are you sure it's not just late and you're easily convinced?
No. I have been using them more, and do you know what? There is an element of where it's just more fun.
Well, to just delete things.
There's 36 dice hitting on 2s.
Boom.
See you later. But when you roll 36 dice and 5 of them turn up on a 1, you're like,
you still got your 5 up.
But then you've got to go, now I've got to allocate them to the model, which is soul destroying.
Randomise.
Yeah.
Randomise.
Soul destroying.
Yeah. So, take Myrmidons. Just
No matter...
They're the stars of the list. Do you know what? We might not even bother doing the gorilla-brained one.
just take
because
them.
this is the be-all and end-all of the list.
No matter if you're running Cybernetica, Archimandrite, Lacrimata, whatever you're running, make sure you've got a unit of Myrmidons.
Well, you're saying there's always a fluff reason to fit in Myrmidons.
There is.
It says here they like turning up on every battlefield ever.
Like Primarchs in Manchester.
Yeah, exactly. They love turning up in every battlefield ever. It says it right there in the text. So we'll move on to adsecularis, the other end of the scale.
Oh, God.
So I actually really liked these in 1.0 because they were fearless. They're now stubborn, which is not good. So they get 45 points for 10, movement 6, weapon skill BS2, strength toughness 3, 1 wound, initiative 2, 1 attack, leadership 6, save 6. And they've got a combat weapon and a las lock. But there's no point in the combat weapon because there's no way for them to get 2 close combat weapons. So they just wasted ink with that line. They're infantry heavy and line. Line's good, right? Right of pure thought, they can't react. So even though they're human brained,
You can't do anything.
they can't react. And that's one thing to say. All of these human brain things
Can
today
react.
can
That's
react.
the best thing about them. But for some reason, somebody thought, oh, a unit...
Thralls, they're well too overpowered.
They're not doing that.
Yeah, they're stubborn. It's leadership 6. Feel no pain 5. Hatred everything. I mean, you could pay like for 30 of them. Is like that's what 60 105 points for 30. I think they're just going to get minced though. Like I think about my Solar with a 4-up save, and they get minced.
On their 6-up save.
Yeah.
Do you know what I find really weird about this? Like, built into the points cost is a 5-up feel no pain on a toughness 3 model. Everything's going through that. You basically you're getting feel no pain against bolters.
Yeah, but that, like they need some sort of save, Phil.
But
They need some sort
why
of save.
why not give them like a 4-up save? Why not just give them a 4-up save like
Because they
Solar?
determined from first edition
to drive them into the ground.
Well, the 4-up save that they had in first edition was far too overpowered.
Right.
And adsecularis needed a nerf.
And that is their nerve. They're just so I can see people taking massive. I can see taking a massive blob of 30 off them, but then I'm also expected in turn 1 to just sweep half them off the table.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, here's 105 points of stuff that I'm just going to spend 2 turns just taking off the table.
Yeah, so I think there is an argument to be made that they're really cheap. But like the tech priest are what, 65 points? 65 points for 5 rather than 10. You've got toughness 5 rather than toughness 3. Like, I know we made an argument to not do lacrimalis, but if you are going to do tech thralls, don't take the tech thralls. Take the lacrimalis engineer auxilia.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have a 5-up feel no pain still. It's toughness 5, so no one's going to be ignoring it. Or not really.
No.
And I know it's less models, but you've got a better save, better feel no pain.
Better leadership.
Yeah. Because they'll just run away.
Yeah.
Don't matter if they needed stubborn, because otherwise they get -1 and you
Leadership
never pass
5,
it.
you never
now
pass it.
scathing.
Yeah, because everyone plays with night fighting.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So leave them at the back as objective grabbers if you already have the models, but as soon as your opponent doesn't want to see them,
They'll be done. They'll be deleted.
they're gone.
Yeah.
Because it's not even like you can evade with them, right? Because if you're getting... Oh, because they can't do the...
They've got a 5-up. They've got no reaction, but they've got a 5-up feel no pain. So you would just take the feel no pain rather than invade, but they can't
What I mean
react.
is that doesn't stack
I just
anyway.
don't get why they can't react. The right of pure thought should have just given them fearless. It should have just been
Like it
fearless.
used to.
Like it used to.
Yeah.
And that should have been an upgrade for me.
Yeah. Now let's start climbing the hill of positivity.
I don't think we're climbing the hill. I think we're at the peak of Everest, mate.
No, the hill is good. I was thinking the hill is good.
Oh, no, I think we're already planting that flag.
No, because we've been like... My hand was off camera. We're up here. Right? And that was the Myrmidons.
Okay.
And then we've crashed down into a peak.
Yeah, but now we're up here.
We're about to go up there.
Oh, right, okay.
We're about to go up there.
Steep descent up. Ascending
a
up.
steep descent.
A steep descent up.
Yeah, dig up, stupid. So on to Thallax, 125 points. These are brilliant. The movement 7, they're faster than normal humans, but they've got jump packs as well. They're weapon skill 3, BS 4, strength 4, toughness 5, 3 wounds, initiative 2, 2 attacks, leadership 7, 4 up save. They've got line, you get 3 of them in a squad. They've got a close combat weapon, lightning gun, Lorica Thallax, Incunabluan
You see, I can't pronounce that.
jetpack.
Incunabluan?
Yeah, and I imagine if you can phonetically sound that out, put it below. I still can't pronounce it. It's frag grenades. You've got bulky 2, gin sight. I see I can pronounce that one. Feel no pain 6+, relentless and stubborn. I know it's only 1 point more leadership than 6 with that stubborn, but actually the amount of combinations on dice that come to 7. It's far more than you'll be succeeding on the 6s. It's like weighted towards the centre, isn't it? The number of combinations.
The average roll on 2 dice is always 7, isn't it?
So you'll pass. Well, even just like 3 and 4 add up to 7.
Really?
No, but like 3 and 4, 5 and 2, 6 and 1. Like, the amount of combinations that is on the dice versus the amount of combinations that add up to 6 means that it's weighted that you'll pass
more times.
8 and 7 more. Yeah. So there's a specific word for that in like dice theory, but I don't know it.
I don't know it.
I don't know it. I just know that it happens. So it is actually a much better improvement over that leadership 6 we were just bitching about. This, I tell you what, the strength 4 is actually a bit of a letdown for me. When they were strength 5 and you could give them heavy chain blades to be strength 7. I used to really like them, even though they were like worse weapon skill than Marines. But it's just that bit of the kick in the nads for Thallax.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get why they went down to strength 4, but being toughness 5, I'm still quite happy with, and I think that's the thing. I'm at least it didn't go strength 4, toughness 4.
I'm getting that out of the way before saying they're really good. 37 points for an extra Thallax. Melter bombs at 5 points a model, and it is now rare that you can get melter bombs on the entire
It's
unit.
rare you multi-bomb,
Yeah. They're moving in the shooting phase after shooting.
Yep.
So you're not going to forget it like you used to when it was in the assault phase.
Yeah.
You can move in the shooting phase and now charge, which is a big boost. And 1 in 3 can take a multi-melter because you're not going to take anything else, I don't think.
I would keep these just with lightning guns. I quite like them just with lightning guns.
I do.
Strength 7, shred, rending 4 up.
Yeah.
I quite like them with lightning guns.
Yeah.
If I want, they're fast enough that if I want to get rid of a vehicle or a dreadnought, I will just get my bombs and just charge them up there.
Yeah, no, I do. Like, I've got 6 actually over there, Phil.
Oh, yeah.
That are all armed with lightning guns that I've had for ages. That I liked in first edition like that.
Yeah.
But I do think multi-melters and stuff with the lack of armoured ceramite, there is now a much greater argument for.
Yeah, and they can get there quicker.
Yeah.
Unlike,
and they can deep strike, right? From the jetpack.
Yes, I believe so. The jetpack's really cool, by the way.
Yeah.
So it plus is 6 to their movement, which I've just realised is 7. I thought it was 6 for a while. Also, the jetpack adds 6 inches to their reactions when they're moving.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So they're really... So their initiative too, you go, I'm only moving 2 inches if I'm doing a fallback or... No, they're moving 8 inches. So they're really good at keeping out the way of units as well. So they're just brilliant. They're still the premier troops choice. I've got a load with photon thrusters. I've got 3 photon thrusters, which I just don't think are good.
I'll give you £2 for them.
No. Well, it's just because the 2...
Come back to me when you don't use them for another 6 months.
I just think, because the 2 shots that gets hot, the AP, the AP2 with blind, you're just screwing over your own unit.
But it's... Yes, like the photon thruster, 25 points. You can almost get another Thallax for that.
And that's what I always do.
Yeah, you're better off, I think, as you say, getting another Thallax. It's more scoring in an army that tends to struggle for scoring. And, it's brilliant unit.
What squad size would you take these in?
Would I take?
Yeah.
If I was running with a multi-melter, 3.
Okay.
If I'm... Do you know what? Optimal squad size for the unit, I'd say 3 with a multi-melter, 6 otherwise.
Okay.
for the fact that you've only got 6 troops choices and they're competing with like Castellax, like and Scyllax kind of, Myrmadons if you play Myrmidon cult, all these other things that you want multiples of those units, it usually boxes my thallax a bit more in that I can only really put like 2 squads of thallax in. Or like maybe one, like say my Myrmidon cult list will be having like 3 squads of Myrmidons, maybe 4. Then that leaves like 1 Castellax, and then that only leaves me with like 1 or 2 thallax. So then I'll have more thallax.
Yeah.
So I'm more controlled by the amount of troops choices than I am what I actually think the best squad size is. What about you?
I take him in 5s. I know, but I don't take any special weapons on them at all. I just leave them with the lightning guns.
How did you come to 5?
It's usually just like when I'm cutting down points, it fits nicely with the points that I'm actually running at 3,000 points. So they're really fast. They're good at objective grabbing. They can react. So I find that, and they are quite scary to a marine. Oh, I didn't wound on a 2. It's all right. I have now. You know, so
oh no,
I've wounded again and again. So I just find 5 to be that sweet spot of really good for the points, really able to dish out some damage, but also take shots back as well.
5 is also quite threatening. I find I like 6, and I like when I originally bought them, I was like, first edition, bought 6. Strength 7 is actually really scary. When you got your BS4, there's 6 of them, so like 4 are hitting. It's actually quite scary to like, if you can get in the side of a tank it's 11.
Yeah.
You're glancing that tank down.
No, you're not. You're penning the tank.
Oh, but what? You're not exploding it though.
No, you're not exploding it.
So you're chipping it down.
You're penning the tank though. If you've got 5.
Yeah. But what you know what I mean.
I know you mean.
Such a pedant.
I think the great.
Come for the rules, stay for the pedantry.
One of the things that I like doing with these is dreadnought hunting with them.
What, just chipping wounds off dreadnoughts?
So, because I'm really fast,
so
I can get within the 18 range of the lightning gun. So I shoot, I move my 6 inches back after I've shot. So, you're hitting on 2s, so you're hitting on 3s, you're wounding on 4s. Well, if you're wounding on 4s, you've ignored the 2 up armour save because it's rending. If you haven't, you're re-rolling it, so you're getting 75% of the wounds through all the time.
Yeah.
And then you can just go, right, I'm moving back 6 inches. So you can almost dance around a dreadnought because it could never catch you.
That's actually a really good point. I'd not really thought about. I know you could just chip it, but most of the time I've seen people just firing them at marine squads and they've not really got that enough. They've not got enough shots.
No, they've only got 5. Well, I run them in 5, so they've only got 5 shots. But they're really good at killing dreadnoughts.
Against dreadnought, that's like 3 wounds.
Yeah.
3 wounds.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of.
So I think that's actually quite a good usage of him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And just that
back to being the expert.
Hey, this guy. No, I think they're just for me the best troop choice probably in the game again.
Yeah, and they were very, very good
last time, but I think they're the best troop choice in the game yet again.
Would you take a multi-laser on them?
No, what the fuck?
So, on to Scyllax. And the main question is, are they human or ape-brained?
I have no idea with these guys. They have a little face, so I'm guessing they're human.
Is that what he's... rather than like a smooth...
Well,
robotic...
actually, Castellax have a human head as well.
They have the little skull, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what Scyllax have as well. So, I don't know.
Oh, we might have got with the wrong spot. So, Scyllax, 120 points, movement 6, weapon skill 3, BS 4, strength 4, toughness 5, 2 wounds, initiative 3, 3 attacks, leadership 6, 4 up save. They've got a Scyllax array, Kraken bolter, rad furnace, frag grenades, guardian heavy line, move through cover, night vision, relentless support unit. The leadership isn't too bad because they've got to be with someone that's got the character subtype.
Yep.
So they're going to be covering that. They've got move through cover, which is good. Night vision, which is excellent. Now Kraken bolters, rad furnaces don't affect instant death thresholds anymore.
No, because it's just +1 to wound.
Which we found out last
video.
Last time. Thank you, whoever pointed that out. Yeah. Scyllax combat arrays, do you remember this off the top of your head?
No, I don't actually. I don't know.
So Scyllax combat arrays, I remember writing them off a little bit, to be honest. Like, I don't think it's the greatest. Scyllax combat arrays, you can get strength user, AP5, melee and shred.
Crap.
Because it's not you basically a tactical marine. Or +3 strength, AP2, melee, cumbersome, unwieldy.
What's that word?
Clumbersome. So cumbersome is Phil's favourite word that he cannot pronounce. Cumbersome means that you only get one attack, right?
It means that one attack and your weapon skill goes down as well. Unwieldy. So if it wasn't bad enough that it was clumbersome, and for anybody, right? So the reason that we keep on saying clumbersome is because I use that word.
I mispronounced
it
one time, like 3 years ago.
And I said clumbersome instead of cumbersome. So cumbersome, a model using a close combat weapon with this special rule can only ever make a single attack at weapon skill 1. We don't need to know anything more else. It's rubbish.
Might as well have not have given it
Yeah.
that alternate attack mode.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh I really want to hit on 6s this turn.
Do you know what? Like, we were just saying, like, off camera for a second, that if this had like super instant death, like if you wounded with it,
yeah,
it just killed anything it touched, like auto penetrated tanks, like.
Oh, you got a Primarch, have you? Chopped up.
Well, no, I'm clumbersome.
Yeah,
and I think that's it. Just seems like a really. I mean, they're not the weapon skill 3 anyway, so they're hitting on 5s against most things. It's not like great. And most people are like, well, if you're hitting on 5s, you might as well hit on 6s. But nah, I don't.
Right, so how do we save this unit, Phil? I know what I would recommend.
I'd put them on eBay.
Right, so...
No.
I would not do that. I wouldn't change them to Maximum Bolters. Flamers are flamers. They need Torrent, I think, as a base rule in the game. Road cannons, 5 points each. Now, it's quite expensive to do these. It's 30 points a model. But at least they're toughness 5 and 2 wounds. Have Guardian, so you can sit your Magos in there. It'll give night vision to your Magos. Rotor cannons. When it's night, it's -2 with rotor cannons. So you can walk forwards, and they're just a tub of wounds for your Magos to have loads of attacks and attack people.
Imagine that. What is it? 5 shots each now with rotor cannon.
4
shots each. So I'd have 10 and throw 40 dice at it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, try and pin people out of the game.
I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that.
You don't have to kill them if they can't use the unit.
Yeah, they just can't do anything at all.
Yeah, they can't use the unit.
And then when they're pinned, you can then go in with your cumbersome weapons.
Yeah, exactly. And still fail miserably. So, 1 in every 4 models in the unit can take a grav gun, plasma gun, IRAD cleanser, or melter gun. I'd be tempted by the grav gun, 5 points, because it's only 5 points.
Possibly.
Do you know what I do? Do you know what I would do with this unit? I'd take the fucking maximum number. I'd take 12 or something, so that it unlocks 3 grav guns and take them as a 3 grav gun unit with a ton of wounds.
Yeah.
Because the problem is I don't think they're any good, right? I don't think this unit is any good. If you were looking at what is good in the list, you do not take this. Yeah. I just really like them. Is it
a spindly arminess of him?
Yeah, it's not like because I like any weird Japanese porn, but
you do though.
Yeah, but no one can know, Phil. No one can know. No, I just think you've got to find some way to use stuff that you like, and it's either the rotor cannon way, or the grav gun way, or both, and just choose what you want to fire at every turn.
Yeah, I
Go on, what are you going to do that makes them good?
So, do you know
Nothing
at all. Do you know one thing I was looking at actually? Is the IRAD cleanser, the IRAD cleanser.
Go on.
Because it's Radphage and Fleshbane.
Yeah.
And just like putting a
load... we've not put it under flame weapons now.
Putting a load of wounds. No, it's not under rad weapons, I think.
It's not under pissing flame
No,
weapons.
it's under rad weapons.
No, but why is it not under flame? It's got a flamer template.
It's a radiation weapon.
IRAD cleanser, Fleshbane, Radphage 1, template, strength 2. AP 5.
Yeah, but it's...
Are you looking for irradiation engines with Torrent 12?
Oh, I'm getting it wrong. Yeah, no, don't worry.
Swerve.
I'm wrong.
Swerve.
I'm wrong. I thought it was Radiation Engine with Torrent 12. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
I always get mixed up with that.
Yeah.
So, on to Ursurax. 145 points, you get movement 7 with the same inoculum. Oh no, they've not. They've got an Utan jump booster for another twist. They've got movement 7, weapon skill 4, BS 3, strength 4, toughness 5, 3 wounds, initiative 2, but it's gonna be 1. 2 attacks, leadership 7, 4 up save. You get 2 lightning claws base, Volkite incinerator, a thallax armor, Utan jump booster, frag grenades, but you're not going to care because you're going to be initiative 1.
Why are you going to be initiative 1?
Because you're going to take...
No!
Why not?
Because you can only take 1 in 3.
Yeah, but you don't care about the fucking lightning claws because they're all going to die before
No,
they get
but the
to
thing is,
strike.
like, everyone in 1.0 took these with 3 power fists. I know they were strength 5 and they were absolutely scary.
Yeah.
They were absolutely, like, brutal. Now, in 2.0, having 1 in 3 take power fist, it's just like...
And they're only strength 8 with the power fist.
I know where they used to be, like, you used to throw them into Custodes, like, just, like, bounce off a couple of wounds, and, like, right, okay, crunch.
My turn.
Crunch.
Yeah.
And with this now, I just don't... And also, they've lost a point of feel no pain. The feel no pain 6 instead of feel no pain 5 like they used to be.
They, in fact, are.
I have no idea what the Utan jump pack does, though, and why it's not just an Unclear jump pack. I have no idea.
Should I look it up now for us?
Yeah.
We're doing so much looking up this. I'm so glad it was organised well. So Volkite Incinerator is just a slightly less range Volkite caliber. And the jump pack... Why is it not with war gear? So set the movement value to 12. It's just a normal jump pack. Yeah, it's just a jump pack.
Yeah. So why not just...
Why not just call it a jump pack, Phil? I don't know. I suppose because they felt the need to term a jump pack a legionary warhawk.
Oh my
pack.
God, why not just call it a jump pack?
And then everything can have that same rule thing.
Yeah, why just not call it a jump pack and put it in the main rules?
Isn't their entire thing with 10th edition that they're cutting out that exact thing?
I don't know, but that it's called.
Seems like they don't communicate within the company.
It's just a jump pack.
Yeah, I don't know.
Jump pack and jet pack were perfectly fine terms, and they acted completely differently, and no one ever got them confused. Why do I have...
You could even have jump pack in brackets 12.
Yes.
Or jump pack 14 for Raven Guard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jump pack 10 for something else.
Oh my God.
Yes, but they don't, so we can't.
Right.
So yeah, they've got 2... So do you think they're worth it with 2 lightning claws? Because that's going to be the majority of the squad.
No.
Would you upgrade to power fists?
If all the unit could take them, or just the 1 in 3.
If you were going to take Ursurax either way...
I would take the power fists.
Yeah.
I'll take the power fists.
See, I would, because they're going to initiative 2 anyway. Yeah, your lightning claws are going to be 4 attacks versus 3 from a power fist.
Yeah.
But I'd much prefer 3 from a power fist than 4 attacks from a lightning claw.
You're already attacking after everybody else anyway,
Well,
as you
this is
said,
it.
so it doesn't really matter. The only thing that the lightning claws are going to try and do is pink off a few wounds with Terminators, but it's unlikely.
What you could do is take lightning claws in case your opponent takes Ursurax with power fists, and then you've got more lightning claws than they have lightning claws, and you might kill them. But you're more likely to if you take power fist.
Right, okay. I'm not doing that.
No, didn't think so. So, well, he's a cool unit. I actually like the models. They look a bit derpy, but I like the as my palate matures in my older age. As I lose.
Is this like how you like wine and red wine and cheese?
Exactly. As it matures on my palate, I'm beginning to like derpier looking models.
Do you know what? I really like... I've got 6 Ursurax. They're still sprayed black, and I've never had them commissioned or anything. And I was like, in 1.0, I was like, these are like hot shit. I need to get these done. And I tell you what, I just look at all of them, armed with power fists, and I was like, oh, I'd have to order like 9 more. No, 12 more. No. How many more?
You times 6 by... You got 6 of them. Times it by 3, Phil.
Oh, 18.
Take away 6.
12. And I have to order 12 more. but I can only take them.
Watch that not be the right math. I know. Watch that not be the right
But
math.
I can only take them in units of 9.
Yeah.
So I'd have to get 12 more.
Yeah,
to have two units of 9.
Yeah. Well, they're not good.
Sadly.
So skip over all of the other Gorilla Brain stuff. Myrmidon Destructors, 145 points. And they have movement 6, weapon skill 4, BS 5, strength toughness 5, 4 wounds, initiative 2, 2 attacks, leadership 8, 3 up save, 3 attacks on the sergeant, leadership 9. They've got shock chargers, so they've not got the amazing axes. They're only like AP 3 with a shock charger. Volkite culverins, refractor fields, frag crack. They're heavy. They've got Destructor Lord with character heavy. Bulky 3, relentless, stubborn. Don't need the firing protocols 2. 40 points extra a model, so 5 points less than a normal Myrmidon. Notice how I didn't have to look that bit up because I've looked at the Myrmidon entry enough. They've got Conversion Beamer upgrade for 15 points each. Grav Imploder 15 points. Darkfire for 20. Irradiation 20. Where's your money?
This is a really tough one.
It is.
This is a really tough one. I like Darkfire cannons. I really like. So you've got a unit of 3 are putting out 6 shots, hitting on 2s. Wounding most things on 2s with AP 2. Blind checks. I quite like that. Grav conversion beamers. I mean, I like that sitting at the back, right at the back of the table, just like, oh, there's my strength 10 blast template. Have that. I don't mind that.
Do you know what? I like that in one instance, and that's if you're Iron Hands or Iron Warriors and you've got a Siege Breaker that can stand near them to make you 10s, re-rolling for Sunder, and then your AP 1 to blow stuff up. But I don't think... I never find... I know some people love them. I've got a few models with conversion beamers because I enjoy just using them. But I don't think they're actually any good.
I think a unit of 3, I wouldn't go massive with the unit. A unit of 3 where you've got a lot of other stuff that's in front of it is fine. But you couldn't put them on the opposite end of the table and think they're going to dominate because something's just going to run up to them and go, oh, right now you're AP 4 and you're nothing to me. Yeah. But I do see... I mean, I would go bigger with Darkfires. 6, 9. I'd go massive with Darkfires. With conversion beamers, very small unit, 3, 4, because I'm expecting them to die basically. So as soon as somebody gets fed up of them, it's like, right, they're gone. Radiation engines. Now, this is the one that I made before.
Yeah, go on.
I like radiation engines. I do. The Torrent 12, so you've got basically like an 18-inch threat bubble.
Yeah, AP3.
AP3. Flashbane, Radphage. I don't mind them. I quite like them.
Do you know what you need to go with it? If you use any radiation engines, I'm convinced you either need, and this is the way not to do it, allied detachment of Marines with something with precision shot. Or, if you're a real fluffy Mechanicum player, use your Paragon of Metal on a Castellax with a Darkfire.
Yes.
And then you've got 2 shots. It's pretty cheap. It's like the same points as a recon squad. You snipe out the character and burn the rest of the squad.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're going to tank.
They're going to tank those wounds, aren't they?
Whereas the Darkfire gives no fucks about, like, oh, my sergeant, my breaches have got heavy. Darkfire's AP2, ignores it,
gone,
get bent.
Yeah.
Whereas then the Destructors come in and ignore all the 3-ups. You can't re-roll the 3-up with heavy because you're ignored.
It just gets rid of all of them.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that idea, actually. I like that idea. Graviton Imploder.
Swerve.
I don't know anything about it because it's so rare. Even in the mech book, it's even rare.
Well, the thing is with Graviton Imploders, I looked it. It was one of the first things I looked up because it was like the auto take weapon.
It used to be
at the start of like up until halfway through 1.0, and then they nerfed it, and I think it stayed nerfed. So he's got Graviton Pulse, Haywire, Heavy 2 at AP 3. Go on. Do you want to guess before I tell you?
Isn't Graviton Pulse the one where it has difficult and dangerous terrain where it lands? No, that's not it, is it? Go on.
I don't know. It's not in this book.
Oh, just put all the rules in one book.
Do you know what? I'd really like him to put like the weapon profile with like a one-liner of what the weapon does underneath it.
Guess what?
Give me a separate book with the pictures in. I'll buy it. I'll buy it. Games Workshop.
What? Oh God, no! It's rubbish.
Go on. What is it?
Instead of rolling to wound, it's a D6 strength test. No.
Throws the book away. Yeah, he just swerved. He doesn't kill enough.
It doesn't do enough. It's really poor. You know,
for 15 points versus the Darkfire's
5.
20.
Yeah, that should be their.
It's only AP 3.
Should be their stock weapon.
Well, even I used to like the old. Do you know the 40k grav rule that was like
wounds on your armor save?
Wounds on your armor save.
That was brilliant.
And at AP 2.
Yeah.
I think it should be like that.
Yeah.
Because it implodes you with your armor.
Yeah.
So if you've got heavy armor on,
it's
wounding you really well.
Would you take him with stock culverins?
Now, I've seen a couple of people, like Ben Greaves, shout out to Ben Greaves. He is taking him with culverins, so there must be something there that's good about him.
4 shots hitting on 2, 5 shots hitting on 2, so you've got 15 shots from 3 man.
I mean, on a Myrmidon platform, though. Like, obviously, Volkite culverins are great, because we see them all the time in marine armies.
See,
I think on this platform, it feels too expensive for me.
I think you're wasting the Relentless there as well, because the range of culverins, like I actually find now with Darkfires, there's some things that I'm out of range with, because they've gone down to 36 inch.
Right.
So having the 6 inch move and be able to shoot the Darkfires is really good. But
have you thought of just deploying him in the centre of the table? Right.
But with a culverin, because he's got 45 inch range, I don't really see where I'm moving him. I don't need to. 15 shots hitting on 2s, you know, it's all right.
145 points. It's not too bad, actually, I suppose, for that. It's when you start adding additional members that I think it's quite expensive. Because it's 40 points rather than 20 points per Volkite culverin in a marine army.
Yeah, so you're getting double the amount of shots.
And yeah, they're really survivable, but just from an output perspective.
Yeah, I mean...
So they must be good, otherwise Ben wouldn't be taking them, because Ben is a good player and takes good lists.
I mean, to be honest, I would still take Darkfires.
Yeah, Darkfires, and if you want to throw the boat out there, Irradiations, I would say, would be my recommendation.
But only if you've got something where you can take off that 2+ save in a marine, normal legionary.
Yeah, and as I say, Volkite culverins must be good. I'm just not big brain enough to think it through.
No.
Yeah, that's it. Well, that's it, isn't it? So, finally, Phil, the Knight Moriax Talon, 200 points, is the last human brain thing in this section of the army list. Don't know why we're cutting it off before Lords of War, but we are. So
who takes Lords of War anyway?
I know, it just doesn't happen anymore, does it? So, well, if you want to give away price of failure, it does.
Yeah.
But your movement 8, weapon skill 4, BS 4, strength toughness 7, 6 wounds, initiative 4, 3 attacks, leadership 8, 3 up save. You get 1 knight for that 200 points with a siege claw with Irad cleanser in. Don't get excited, it's not the torrent one. Is Volkite Velaglare, Ionic Deflector, Rad Furnace, for some reason built in. It's an armiger as a unit type, so Iron Warriors don't get their +1 to wound against it.
It's immune to almost everything.
It's immune to armor bane.
Armor, well, it won't be immune to. It doesn't matter if it's immune to armor bane or not,
because it wasn't around when they wrote that universal special rule to give it against vehicles or dreadnoughts.
Yeah. So it's not a vehicle or a dreadnought, so armor bane doesn't work.
So immune. You've got Fleet 2, Guso Protocol, moriax Talon, Move Through Cover, Night Vision. Right, so Guso Protocol means that when an enemy declares a charge against your Knight unit, or any unit with that Guso Protocol, then this unit... Right, when there's a pair of units with that special rule, one is charged, the other one can make a shooting attack against the enemy that declared a charge. Basically, can Overwatch.
Like the
from a third position.
Like the old towel rule.
Don't know, but yes.
Right, so when you charge something, another unit could overwatch on its behalf. So you're getting shot by 2 units then.
Yeah, so this will still cost a reaction. It uses up a point of reactions, so
you'd have to have 2 reactions in the shooting in the assault phase
to really make proper usage of it.
I don't think Mechanicum get 2 reactions in the assault phase.
If you use Logic of Victory,
you'd always get 2.
Yeah,
pretty situational.
Yeah, it's so the Volkite Velaglare. Jesus, why couldn't it just been a Culverin? What should be no better than a Culverin?
Or a Cannonade.
Yeah. That is, when you've looked them up a million times before. So it's Strength 8, AP 4, Heavy 5 and D flag. Strength 8's nice. They're going to tank on a 2-up save though. It ignores Feel No Pain, which can be really annoying after they fail. Do you know after someone fails an armor save, then they rob you of it with their Feel No Pain. So that's good. Rad Furnace, as we were saying before, has gone down in value now that it doesn't ignore instant. Now it doesn't change Feel No Pain threshold. So the Siege Claw is Strength times 2, AP 2, Brutal 2. And does it have Wrecker and stuff? It has Wrecker and Sunder, which is actually really good as a close combat weapon. It is more expensive than a Dreadnought though.
It's auto penning tanks though.
Yes, but it's still more expensive than a Dread. So it's got a 5-up invuln. Yes, it's because it's better than a Dread in it. It loses a Brutal, but gains Sunder and Wrecker. Sort of doesn't need Sunder, I suppose.
Well,
on the Siege Claw.
I don't understand this because on the Siege Claw, if it's Strength times 2, it's Strength 14 against vehicles.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't top out at 10 anymore. So it doesn't need Sunder.
Yeah.
Because you pen everything.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a single... apart from, like, Titans, I don't think there's a single thing that you're not just penning off those 3 attacks.
It leaves expansion room in the rules for the Imperator Titan.
Oh, right, okay. Sorry.
Where it will only pen the Imperator Titan.
On 6s.
No. It gives you that reroll, so you're only penning the Imperator 75% of the time.
Right, okay.
That's what I think. That's going to be my wild guess. Right. But no, it's good. It's 35 points more expensive than a Dreadnought, whether or not I take that for 35 points more. It's very good. It just ain't no Brutal 3.
Yeah.
But it will be doubling out more locks. It's a hard one, because it's good. I'm now not talking like, do you take this because it's good or bad? Is it better than a Dreadnought?
So for me, the heavy slot in Mechanicum, or at least how I run Mechanicum, isn't as heavily tested as the other slots.
Yeah.
So my elites are quite heavily tested. My troops are quite heavily tested. So I quite like the fact that this is in the heavy slot, and I would pay for that for it to be in there. Also, I like the weapons that you can give it. We're talking a lot about the Siege Claw, but lightning locks.
Okay, 5 points. Lightning lock. Strength 7, AP 3, Heavy 1, Blast, Rending 4, Shred, Exo Shock 4. Yeah, that's quite good. I'd think about exchanging, maybe even, but that's quite a good one to.
It's quite a good weapon.
But is it worth 210 points for 2 small blasts a turn?
I don't know, but I quite like the weapon on that.
Because for the same points as that, you could get the Myrmadons with irradiation engines, and 3 of them with irradiation engines are the same points as that Laslock.
Diversity.
Right, okay.
Also, it's got Exo Shock 4 up.
Yeah.
So if it's penning something, it's taking another whole point on 4 up.
Yeah, that's
so that's quite, for me, that's quite
it's
good
versatile,
as well. It's versatile. I mean,
I just think that anything with there's Brutal 2 on the Siege Claw, and that makes it very obvious which one.
What about the Graviton Pulsars?
AP3, what is it, large blast? I was literally just looking at this. So it's AP4, heavy 2, blast 3 inches. Concussive 1, grav pulse, haywire. So you're wounding on they're taking strength tests for the grav pulse. It's AP4 at a 3-inch blast. I don't think it's any good.
2 shots.
2 shots.
I quite like that just because if you're taking 2 of them, and I know that's 220 points, but you've got 4-shot haywire.
So, Phil, final decision, because we'll talk about this all night, about where they sit in the last 3% top of the game. How would you run it?
So I'm torn a little bit. I like the lightning lock, but I don't think it offers enough versus the Velagrave.
Yeah.
Velaglare,
Well,
sorry.
it's actually a good starting point.
View glare.
Yes.
View glare. The Volkite.
Yeah.
I don't think it offers much more difference than a Volkite. I know it's AP3, but with small blast.
Strength 8 is quite good initially to begin with.
So I'm not too convinced on that. I do like the idea of graviton pulsers because they're 2 shots, heavy. Haywire is what I meant, not heavy.
And it's just very hard to kill. Yeah.
And it's very, very hard to kill. But I was just looking at the conversion beam cannon, and again, I'd probably only. So the others I'll take in 2 pairs of 2. You know, no matter what configuration, I'll take 2 pairs of 2. With the conversion beam cannon, I'd probably just have 1, just right at the back, because it is just doing major damage with its gun.
Yeah, and exploding things on 5s.
Exploding, like strength 12 at the back. So.
But no, but I mean, like on the.
On the damage roll. I still can't get. You see, this is the thing. I want that siege claw.
Yeah.
To give it versatility. If I give it the siege claw, I don't want it to give it the anti-tank weapons.
Do you know what I think you should do?
Keep it stock.
Just keep it stock. Yeah. I don't think you should do anything to it. Like strength 8 on the main weapon, 5 shots is great for just shooting at anything.
Yeah.
They might fail a save and get doubled out. Mm-hmm. They'll then deflag. It becomes more. You're not giving up your siege claw, and say like you don't want a conversion beamer and a siege claw because one of them is going to be wasted all the time. So I just think stock. Like, don't even think about it. Run it forwards.
Would you give it 2 Volkites?
I'd really like to think about it. Okay. Like, is it? No, I don't mean like give me time to think about it. I mean like, it's one of them things that I'd probably try it a few. Like I'd do it a few times, but no, I like the idea of these stock.
What about 2 siege claws? Sorry, I'm giving you too many options here.
For 1 extra attack, no, I'd prefer 5 strength 8 shots running in.
Right.
Because I don't think you should be throwing them against like Terminators anyway. Because they're weapon skill 4. They're not hitting. It's not like a Dread, which is like weapon skill 5. It's not fearless. So in Talons, if you lose an armature, it's running away. If you lose a wound in combat, you could run away.
The stubborn.
Yeah, but like you could still run away. Leadership 8 isn't great, is it? I know it's on the higher side for this game now, but like you fail. Like I've seen enough Leadership 8.
Do you know what?
Tests.
Probably
fail.
stock is probably right.
Yeah.
Probably stock. I don't. The other weapon. The other thing I've got is the other weapons are really good. But the initial configuration.
It's actually really good.
It is actually really good.
Yeah, it's like natural to feel like you've got to upgrade stuff to get better worth out of it, but actually, I think the stock is the best. Mm-hmm. And with that, I think we'll close out the human-brained side of the Mechanicum. If you guys like this, we will be doing another 8th-brained Mechanicum segment, because it seemed like the logical way to split it up. And if you've not caught the Archmagos one that we did for the like HQ section, that will be linked previously. It's like the last rundown for 30k that we did.
I think so.
Yeah. So if you did like it, don't forget to hit like, comment below what you like, what you didn't like, what can you add to this guide that we've missed so that other people can see it, and I'll pin it to the top of the comments.
Phonetic pronunciation.
Phonetic pronunciation of incunabulum.
Binary jump pack.
Yes.
Jetpack.
And there is a Patreon link below if you really, really liked it. All of that lets me know that you guys want this sort of content, so I'll make this sort rather than the rubbish Necromunda or like what others rub fantasy or other stuff that you don't like.
Battlefleet Gothic.
Yeah, all that stuff that I'm making that you guys don't like. Do all the YouTubey stuff on this video, and I'll make more of this. And with that, I'll catch you in a bit.
See you later.